Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be filming an eye tutorial using every color in the new Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animal palette. If you are interested in seeing the look that we're going to create, just keep on watching. Alright guys, so it is 8:15 when I'm filming this. That's on a Friday morning and I am just getting ready for work. I need all the coffee. And I just figured it would be fun for us to do an eye look. I just got this in my BoxyCharm yesterday. I will link that in the cards above if you haven't caught that video yet. But yeah, today we are going to be dipping into every single color in this palette. And like I said, I do have to go to work, so hopefully it doesn't end up being too crazy, even though these are some pretty loud colors. So I have already primed my eyes, and today I just did that with like my concealer and powder because I'm going to be using another primer which we will get into. Okay, so the first shade I'm going to dip into is this one right here, Issa Party. And I'm using a brush that you guys have not seen me use before. This is the Wet n Wild. I think this is the blending brush. I really like the Wet n Wild brushes with the pink tips. They did come out with a newer line recently, and while I like some of them, most all of these I really love. Like I used this collection's powder and blush brush today, and that blush brush I use all the time. And I like this one because the bristles are a little bit less densely packed, so especially with a bright like yellowish shade like this, I don't want that concentrated. I want it really blown out into the crease. Basically, I'm using this as like my transition shade. It's just going to be a shade that doesn't really pop out. It's just going to be one that peeps out from underneath everything else, if that makes sense. And you can tell, I mean, this is not a super loud shade whenever you wear it in this manner. If you guys hear anything here while I'm filming, it is 8:15 in the morning and Fortnite is already going in my house. So if you hear anything, that's what it is. I actually don't mind this color like this. Like this is the one that I was the most hesitant about using. The other ones I kind of knew exactly what I wanted to do with them. This one I was a little bit more reserved about. Okay, so that applied nicely. No complaints there. Alright, now taking my brush that you guys know very well, my Bingaches brush, and now I'm going to dip into drinks. And as you can tell, all of these here are matte. This one has a lot of glitter, and then this one is actually kind of like a metallic type shade. It definitely has a sheen. That one would even look beautiful all over the lid, like transition crease all over the lid. It's like that would be beautiful, but I want to use every color, so alright, so I'm just going to dip into that. This one is super pigmented, it looks like, so I'm just going to like stamp that on my hand just because I do not want to go in with too much color and just ruin the look. Ooh, that applies nicely. And I like how it's fading into that yellow. yeah. So that's not bad at all, and I am going to dust this off and stamp it just because these are pigmented, guys. Like, you do not need to go in with a heavy hand at all. Probably mess yourself up if you do. Okay, so just like normal, I'm putting this directly into the crease, a little bit lower than that transition shade we blew out, just so you can kind of see that transition just peeping around there. And I probably will actually enhance that a little bit because surprisingly I like that shade more than I thought I would have. Okay. Now we are going to be going in with the shade I was most excited about, and that is Bottoms Up, that glittery pink shade. So I do want to apply a glitter glue to my lid because I don't want that glitter getting everywhere all over my face. So I'm going to use my Ulta glitter primer. I have never used this before, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the back of my hand, just a little dot, and I am going to go in just a little tiny brush. This is my small shader brush from Luxie, and I am going to use the mirror that comes in this palette, which is nice, and I'm just going to put that all over my lid. And this is just going to serve as a nice base for that color to stick to. And you do not want this super thick or anything. But I wanted to be very precise with it, which is why I'm not using my fingers. Okay. Now, while that is still a little bit wet, I'm just wiping that same brush off on a clean washcloth, and I'm going to dip into that Bottoms Up shade. Does have a little bit of kick up, and I'm just stamping this on my eye. So it is pink, and then it has pink glitter in it. It's a pretty unique shade, actually. Alright, so with that outer corner left bare, I'm going to go into my little IBY crease brush, and you can probably guess what color is going there. This purple, which is stunning. And the purple is called Hungover. I really like the names of all these shades too. I just think they're really fun. Okay, so we've got a harsh line, right? Basically, I just wiped this crease brush off, And I'm just going to go in really tiny little circular motions over that line and just try to blend those two shades together. And then I'm just pulling that purple over a little bit, just so it becomes like a gradient type of effect. And that is blending very nicely. I hope you guys can see this. Okay. Now I am going to take, now I'm going to take this little brush here, and this is from INSPR, I guess that's how you would say it. It's my little eye fluff brush. I'm going to go back into Drinks with this, and I'm going to blend this like where all that harsh line is, and I'm just going to bring that orange back into the look. And use it to blend out all of those edges. I don't know why I can't get this color. Okay, there we go. I guess maybe by the time I got to that area, it had already dissipated from my brush or something. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to take that It's a Party shade as well and just kind of go right over that also. Just the edges, just because I do want that color peeping through a little bit more. Alright. My battery is dying. I'm going to take Damage Control, which is this blue here. And I've got a little Crown C513 brush. It's just a little pencil brush. I'm going to get that right on the tip. And I'm going to put that all over the bottom lash line here. That blended out nicely. And then I'm going to take another brush that you guys haven't seen, and this is the e.l.f. Small Smudge Brush. I'm going to go into that dark blue shade Karaoke here. And this one kind of looks like it has a sheen as well, honestly. And I'm just going to confine that to the outer third over here. Alright guys, so that is the look with everything. I am going to take, actually I'm going to take this little Inspur brush, and I used the Mary Luminizer highlighter today. I'm going to use that as my inner corner highlight, as well as just down here on the bottom. And I already had a little bit on my brow. So that's it. I'm going to finish up this other eye and put on some mascara, and I will come back and show you guys the finished look. Alright guys, so this is the finished eye look. It's definitely not a casual Friday, but I don't think that it looks terrible at all. I think these colors are actually very wearable, and as you can tell, you can even do a complete eye look with it. So I really like this palette. I really like how every single color performs. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already to catch all of my future videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.